Cheese is a beloved food enjoyed by millions around the world, known for its rich flavors, creamy textures, and versatility in countless dishes. But when it comes to your health, particularly the health of your bones, cheese is often at the center of debate. Some claim that cheese can cause harm to your skeleton, even going so far as to say it melts your bones. Others argue that cheese is a vital source of nutrients that make your bones stronger. So which is it? Does cheese melt your bones, or does it help fortify them? To answer this question, let's begin by exploring what bones are made of and what they need to remain healthy and resilient. Bones are living tissues, constantly undergoing a process called remodeling, in which old bone is broken down and new bone is created. This dynamic process requires a range of nutrients, the most important of which are calcium, vitamin D, phosphorus, and protein. These nutrients are the building blocks your body uses to keep your bones dense, strong, and less prone to fractures as you age. Cheese as a dairy product is naturally high in many of these bone-supporting nutrients. Let's start with calcium, the mineral most closely associated with bone strength. About 99% of your body's calcium is stored in your bones and teeth. Cheese is one of the richest natural sources of calcium, with hard cheeses like Parmesan, Swiss, and Cheddar offering particularly high amounts per serving. When you eat cheese, you're giving your body a direct supply of the calcium it needs for bone formation, maintenance, and repair. But calcium is only part of the story. To absorb calcium from your diet and deposit it into your bones, your body also needs adequate vitamin D. Some types of cheese, particularly those made from whole milk, contain small amounts of vitamin D. However, the levels are generally not high enough to meet your daily requirements. So it's important to get vitamin D from other sources as well, like sunlight exposure or fortified foods. Still, the calcium in cheese is highly bioavailable, meaning your body can absorb and use it efficiently, especially when consumed as part of a balanced diet. Protein is another key nutrient for bone health, and cheese is a valuable source. Bones are composed not only of minerals, but also of a matrix of proteins, primarily collagen, that gives them flexibility and strength. High protein diets have been linked to better bone density, especially in older adults, and cheese can play a role in meeting your daily protein needs. Given all these benefits, why do some people claim that cheese can actually harm your bones? This idea usually stems from concerns about the acidity of dairy products and their effect on the body's acid-base balance. The theory, sometimes called the acid-ash hypothesis, suggests that eating foods high in protein and certain minerals, like those found in cheese, produces acid in the body. According to this theory, to neutralize the acid, the body pulls calcium from the bones, weakening them over time. However, modern scientific research has largely debunked this idea. The body maintains a very tight regulation of blood pH, and the kidneys and lungs are highly effective at controlling acid-base balance. There is little evidence to support the notion that eating cheese or other dairy products leads to a net loss of calcium from bones. In fact, most studies show that people who consume more dairy, including cheese, generally have higher bone mineral density and a lower risk of osteoporosis and fractures, especially when compared to those who avoid dairy altogether. But like any food, cheese is best enjoyed as part of a balanced diet. Some types of cheese are high in saturated fat and sodium, which can be concerning if consumed in excess. Diets very high in sodium can contribute to calcium loss through urine, potentially impacting bone health. However, moderate cheese consumption, especially of lower sodium varieties, is unlikely to pose this risk for most people. There are also individuals who must be cautious with cheese due to specific health conditions. People who are lactose intolerant may experience digestive discomfort from certain cheeses, though many aged cheeses are naturally low in lactose and may be tolerated. Those with milk allergies must avoid cheese entirely, as even small amounts can trigger severe reactions. And people with chronic kidney disease may need to limit cheese because of its phosphorus and protein content, which can be difficult for compromised kidneys to process. Another concern sometimes raised is the presence of hormones or antibiotics in dairy products. In most countries, dairy production is strictly regulated, and milk from treated cows is subject to rigorous testing. While trace amounts of natural hormones are present in all dairy, there is no credible evidence that these trace amounts pose a risk to bone health. For most healthy individuals, cheese can be a nutritious and enjoyable food that supports strong bones. But how much cheese should you eat, and what types are best for your bone health? The answer depends on your overall diet, activity level, and individual nutritional needs. The dietary guidelines for Americans recommend 2 to 3 servings of dairy per day for most adults, which can include milk, yogurt, or cheese. A serving of cheese is typically around 1.5 ounces of hard cheese or 2 ounces of processed cheese. Choosing a variety of dairy products, including lower fat and lower sodium options, can help you get the benefits of cheese without overdoing the less healthy components. When selecting cheese, consider opting for those that are naturally rich in calcium and lower in sodium and fat. Hard cheeses like Parmesan, Swiss, and Gouda are especially high in calcium, while fresh cheeses like mozzarella and ricotta can be lower in fat and sodium. Reading nutrition labels can help you make informed choices. If you follow a plant-based or vegan diet, you may choose to avoid cheese altogether. In this case, it's important to find alternative sources of calcium, vitamin D, phosphorus, and protein to support your bones. Many plant-based milks are fortified with calcium and vitamin D, and foods like tofu, leafy green vegetables, beans, and nuts can help you meet your nutrient needs. Beyond nutrition, maintaining strong bones involves more than just what you eat. Regular weight-bearing exercise like walking, running, or dancing stimulates bone formation and helps maintain bone density. Avoiding smoking and excessive alcohol consumption also supports bone health. As you age, bone loss naturally accelerates, especially in women after menopause due to hormonal changes. Ensuring you get enough calcium, vitamin D, and protein from your diet, including cheese if you enjoy it, can help slow bone loss and reduce the risk of fractures. In summary, the idea that cheese melts your bones is a myth not supported by scientific evidence. On the contrary, cheese is a valuable source of several nutrients essential for bone health, including calcium, phosphorus, and protein. For most people, moderate cheese consumption as part of a balanced diet can help build and maintain strong bones throughout life. Of course, like all foods, cheese should be eaten in moderation. Pay attention to the types of cheese you choose and how they fit into your overall dietary pattern. Pair cheese with plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and other nutrient-rich foods to maximize your health benefits. If you have specific health concerns or dietary restrictions, consult with a healthcare provider or registered dietitian for personalized advice. They can help you determine the best sources of bone-supporting nutrients for your unique needs. Ultimately, cheese is not a villain when it comes to your bones. Far from melting them, it can play a role in making them stronger and more resilient, helping you maintain mobility, independence, and quality of life as you age. So, whether you sprinkle it on your salad, melt it on your sandwich, or savor it with fruit and crackers, you can enjoy cheese with confidence, knowing it's contributing to the strength and health of your bones. Remember, strong bones are built on more than just one food or nutrient. They're the result of a lifelong commitment to balanced nutrition, regular physical activity, and healthy lifestyle choices. Cheese can be a delicious part of that journey, supporting your body from the inside out, one bite at a time.